Okay, so hi everyone. I just want to give you a quick overview of our latest PacSurv tools that I think will be particularly helpful for you all. So basically the big update is that we've made it easier to report and view your data from one-off visits. So this might be if you're going to do an inspection to collect mosquitoes, or if you're going to respond to a case and applying pesticides. There's an easier way to do that, and I'm going to show you briefly how we do that. So before we get into that, I do just want to mention it's still very important to keep up with your routine collections as you're all doing. It's really important for understanding the baseline of species abundance in your region and understanding transmission risks and preparedness. Okay. Um, Okay, so we know that in the US APIs especially, you're conducting inspections and applications in response to suspected or confirmed dengue cases. And so this is where the PacSurv service visits module will come in handy. And we've made it possible also to view all of that data on one map. So that's called the integrated data view. So let me show you how you can access that. So let's see if I shared this. Oops. Okay. So I'm sharing what you should see when you log into PacSurv. I just want to point out I'm on sandbox.vectorserve.org. The sandbox is just like a playground. So anything that I'm doing right now to anyone's data is not real. It's just in the playground. So if you do want to record real data, just go to the regular gateway.vectorserve.org. But if you want to just on your own play around with different modules and not worry that you're messing up your agency's data, that's where the sandbox comes into handy. And so anything that I add into the sandbox will go away in the sandbox in a week, and it's not modifying any real data. So this is what it'll look like when you log into PacSurv. It might look slightly different up here, but where we're going to focus today is in this service visits module. So what I actually want to show you first is this integrated data view. So when we click here, I'm going to use Guam as an example. So in this integrated data view, um, I ran this earlier, so I changed the dates to the full year. So starting in January 2025 until now, or until yesterday, this integrated data view is a way that we can see all the collections in one place. So if you want to see, we know we're doing our routine surveillance around here, and I want to click, I can see each date of surveillance and how many mosquitoes we collected. If I want to review, what were those mosquitoes that were collected, I can click edit or view and it'll take me to that specific collection. I can see the information of what we collected it with, what kind of trap, and then what mosquitoes we collected. Oops. Um, Okay, so you can see here we also have the ability to see service visits and applications, of which there's none reported on here right now. I want to show you how you enter a service visit. So this might be your inspection, or it might be the application that you do in response to a case. So in PacSurv, this is the newer interface. That's why the menu is on the left. We're kind of transitioning still from the old interface to the new, so sometimes you'll see this interface if the forms are updated, and sometimes you'll still see the old one. We're working on transitioning that. So let me show you how the service visits work. So over here we have service visit, and I can click new for a service visit. So let's say, for example, today there is a suspected case of dengue virus in a certain area of Guam, and my team is going to go do a collection. We're going to go put out traps to see if there's Aedes aegypti around there. So you can come up with your own way of naming these, but let's just say, for example, training example is what I'll just call this one. And we'll say that I'm the responder. The visit date, we'll put today. It's kind of funny because my time zone is where I am, so that doesn't make sense. Oh gosh, I think it'll still work because, oh yeah, you guys are on the 7th, I'm still on the 6th, so this should still work. Our start time, so say we arrived at our inspection at 2 o'clock. I can either type it in here or I can search down on the start time. And let's say it took us an hour. So we ended at 3 o'clock. You can input the latitude and longitude of your location, or you can find it on the map. So I'm just going to pick randomly, we're going here. So what I'm going to do first is just save this as a record of we visited this location on this date at this time. Now, once I've saved that, it'll give me the thumbs up that it was saved. And from there, I can add any collections or inspections or applications if I applied pesticides. So I can either link to a collection that somebody in my agency's already done. I think more likely is that you're going to add a collection or inspection each time. So let's say when I went out there to check on this case, I was doing just a presence absence household inspection. We can choose one of our existing sites in the agency, but what I think is going to be more common because these are really like one-off inspections, it's not your routine sites. You're going to use, as it says here, use site code 0000, whatever, for a one-time location. So when I do that, it allows me to then on the map put that location exactly where it is. So it saved it from where I said that our service visit was. I can tell it that I'm the one who identified the species or whoever else it was. And then I can put what I collected. So let's say I collected Aedes aegypti females and I'm just doing the presence absence. So I'm saying they were present. I also collected, let's say, Aedes albopictus males. They were present. Okay. That allows me to just save. Now I've just saved that I did an inspection. The type was presence absence, and it can tell what mosquitoes I collected. Now say, you might not do this all in the same day, but I'm just doing it as an example right now. We can add an application as well. So if I applied pesticides in response, I could either link to an application that exists, but probably what you're going to do is add an application. So this brings me to the location of our service visit. This is just going to be a one-time source. We can add whatever we did there. So we're probably applying adulticides. The technician is going to be, we'll say limb. This is all fake for now, of course. We can choose what equipment we used. And these are all things that Guam Department of Health has configured in their system to show. So I'll show you right after this quickly how you can modify those in case you use different kind of equipment or whatnot. This is going to show how little I know about applications where you are, but I'm going to say we're applying bifenthrin. We did it, we'll just say the same time because it doesn't matter for right now, but we could modify this if we wanted to. We can add a quantity. Again, going to show what I really don't know. Let's say we added 1 gallon to a 50 square meter area. And then I'm going to go on my map and I'm going to draw approximately what that looked like in terms of where I applied the pesticides. So let's just say that. This is just an example for now. And then I can save it. Okay, so that is our service visit. Let's go back to that integrated data view. And now on our integrated data view, it should show, oops, oh, it's because I did it too yesterday. Now it shows on our integrated data view that I've done one service visit and I've also done one application. The thing that's really nice about this map is that it's always going to show those service visits as little brown houses, as well as applications in the area that we sprayed. So I can click on those and see when did I do that service visit and what did I spray, how big was the area that I sprayed. So this could be really nice, a nice way for you all to to record your inspections and applications, as well as a way to see them all in one location. This can be, really helpful if you need to share this with your supervisors or if you need to share it with folks at the Ministry of Health or something like that. It's a really nice visual way to see, this is what we did in response to that suspected case in this area at this time. Um, so in the interest of time, last thing I'm just going to show you is when you're doing your service visits, if you need to modify the things that are available in terms of technicians or equipment or pesticides you're using, you do that under application over here on the left, config, and then you can configure whatever shows for your agency. So for example, if I needed to remove limb as a technician or I needed to add a new technician, I just click new and then I can add that and it'll pop up next time. Or if I need to do something like configure my equipment, I can do that, or my mixes. So we can manage the mixes. These are what's available right now in Guam in their system, but you can add new ones by clicking here to add new, or you can edit these based on whatever your agency uses. So I will end there. And if anyone has any questions, if you're still not quite comfortable using PacSurv, VectorSurv, and you want to have a one-on-one meeting with me or a 5-on-1 meeting or whoever, how many people are in your team, if you're having issues logging in, I know that's been a challenge for some people. You don't know what your password is or something like that. Please let me know. We can set up a meeting. I can spend as much time as you need walking you through the different modules. We can walk through the service visits. We can import the data that you already have, anything like that. So, and if you do use this and you want to provide us feedback and say that we do something completely different, can we try to modify the system to do this? I'd love to know that as well. So thank you all for listening, and I will take any questions.